Well, hello there, people. Hang on 2 seconds. Let me take my shit out a minute. Right, taking you on a journey, but the challenge is I've got an audience in the living room without having an audience, and it's a bit different to not having an audience while talking about something. So I'm going to crack on, and I'm just going to give you 2 minutes to go, shit, she's late, but she's on eventually. Well, I just get my legs straight a sec. I've got in front of me, right, a box that I've basically been carrying around with me since... Hello there, Maria. How you doing? You might actually be an absolute asset, Maria. I could do with you PMing me with what your skill sets, passions, and what you're really fucking, like, good at. If you could do it all bloody day and get paid to do it, like, you would just do it all day. And I've got a feeling you might have even worked for one of these subjects I'm going to come in with, but... I could really do with bringing a couple of people in that work for Inland Revenue. And hello there, Laura. And the reason that I'm saying Inland Revenue, I'm standing by something that I said quite a few years back on something that I think could have caused Aaron and Faith being taken and keeps the paperwork blackmarked. That prevents me moving forward, and also would stop all of the trolling and help them understand that I'm the mother from 2010 in the papers that said benefit Britain, take the masks off, and then went back a week later after fucking shitloads of trolling, and a lot of that shit caused by my own mother and my sister. One of them, obviously, they emailed what's his name, Max Clifford's office, and said if Kellie says that she was sexually abused by a family, she wasn't. And they didn't correct that it wasn't my blood family, but actually, yes, she was by non-blood member family, right? Max Clifford wasn't my agent because, and the reason that he wasn't my agent was because I'd already had previous media on me and they were told they weren't allowed to work with me, right? Can Productions also stopped because I stopped, right? So all the Kellie Can stuff all stopped because I stopped. All the stuff that was done after media and agreements after the media, MEN something syndicates was the people that took over the media stuff to do with everything that went out. I want to take you back, and I want to take you back for a reason. Obviously, please do remember that my lives are a diary for me. It helps me go back at certain points and go, how was I feeling? What was I doing? How did I get through that experience? Because I am actually really on my own. Dean is here and he's around. He's got kids with me. But I don't have my mum around. I don't have my dad around. I don't have my brothers and sisters around. I don't even have Liam and Daniel around, who I have never been separated from ever in my life, other than coming off of London, basically, and not going back home. And I don't think people realise that the mother who had 4 children ended up at Downing Street, and I never, ever, ever went back to my life. And the reason that I never went back to my life is because I went from my life, and then I went from my children taken from the hospital to being thrown into a court process. And that was a 26-week court process where I'm not allowed to communicate with anybody. I'm not allowed to tell anyone what's going on. I have to sit into a room where a barrister and not even really the solicitor sits with me. The barrister come and saw me for about 10, 15 minutes with Monique, who came along with me once. And then I saw the barrister when he dropped off somebody who came along with me once, and that was all a bit dodgy. I saw the solicitor the time that Aaron and Faith were in the car crash, and I literally bounded into that office and said, you will get me permission to be at the hospital, and where the frick are my kids, basically. And it was about 2 or 3 hours I was allowed to see Aaron and Faith. The car had been completely totaled, and Aaron and Faith were at the hospital with some fat cunt and something, and I just wanted to freak out. But obviously I saw her then. And I also got to see her when I wrote my statement, and I got about 45 minutes with her to explain how I was in the situation that I was currently in at Save the Family, and to basically respond, not react, respond to their statement. So I want to take you to this. So thanks for being with me, for those that have always been with me. Thanks to those people that get this. And thanks to those people that understand that what the people are doing on the website, it does hinder me in some ways because I have to deal with battles to do with it. And I have looked at it today. And that's caused me to react because, yet again, I've been triggered off by one fucking thing that I find offensive, like, seriously. And I'm not even going to tell you don't do something, because you people will go and do it even more. But I'm telling you, don't do something. And if you continue to do it, your karma is going to be so fucking upside the head. And I'll tell you straight, and I'll tell you now, don't ever call my children's fathers a baby father. Like, don't do that. Don't ever disrespect my children's father. It's got nothing to do with me. That's my children's fathers. Whatever my relationship is with my children's fathers, that's my children's fathers. So don't ever do that there. And it's the same with the media. They never attacked me. They attacked my children, right? And it's like, just don't do that, because you're just meddling in karma that you really don't understand. I'm going to stand by the fact that being a single mother in this country doesn't stand you in good steading still. And good for that, because we are meant to be women that leave our fathers and remain with our husbands, right? The Bible never, ever, ever said that women would be financially responsible by the man or by their father. He didn't say that. And the challenge that I have always had is when you're in a relationship, and I didn't get to leave my father. I left my father when I was 11. So I didn't get to go through all of those things that a teenager goes through, into college, into university, my father and my mother doing whatever it is that people do. I don't know that life. And I really can't speak to you from that normal life, because I don't know it. I've never known it. I've never, ever, ever lived and been longer than a few years in anything that's classed as stability. And even in where the life that I've got now, what would be considered a 2.4 family, that is not my reality, because there is this residual that sticks with us because people have previous lives. But when someone's watching a live, let me use this as an example, right? When I moved to Northern Ireland, people were really funny with me, and I found out years later what the gossip was. And the gossip was that Graham wasn't my husband. And this was because somebody had known me previously from Aldershot in my relationship with James. And when I was in Northern Ireland and had seen me with Graham, told everybody that wasn't my husband. They never saw in and out and stuff. It was just they'd seen us in town and gone, that's not her husband. I know who her husband was. That caused me goodness knows how many shit, yeah? And it was just the fact that it was a different chapter of my life. I can't sit there and say that I went to yes, I did. I went to high school, blah, blah, blah. As you know, I went to different high school than all my friends. When I met Graham, I said for my children, I wanted to give them the stability that I'd never had, with the continuation of them being able to go all the way through high school with the same friends that they went from the age that you go in, and to make sure that they could find them 5 people that were considered the people they'll grow up with. And the reason that I wanted that is because when I met Daniel's dad, Graham, I went to, he was not in his hometown. When we went back to his hometown and we bought a house in his hometown, he immediately stepped back into those 5 friends that he had from school. Immediately. They went out, they socialised, they had what they did. I was on my own in a village where I didn't know anybody. Unless I went to things like mother and toddler groups, I never got to know anybody, because obviously young kids, blah, 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 blah. So when that relationship then broke down, I lost everything, including the TV, right? And when you separate from a relationship, you don't think about things like the toolbox. You don't think about things like the TV, all the technology, all that stuff. It's a man's thing. You go through DVDs. Whose DVDs are whose? Hang on a minute, I brought that for you, but hang on a minute, it's mine. And it's a really, really, really horrible thing to do, to have to break down a whole house. And I mean, I'm talking about who owns the boat, who owns the car, who owns the fucking house, who owns that business, who owns that pension, who owns that fucking thing, who owns that. When I divorced from Graham, I made the decision that I wasn't taking anything from him, because I didn't want him being able to enter into my property because he paid the rent, the mortgage, sorry. I didn't want him to be able to turn up whenever he wanted, or, as he was threatening, to go on benefits so he didn't have to pay anything. I didn't want to be part of any of them divorce games. I'd been part of Fathers for Justice since I was 19 years old, when my father was facing a prison sentence for non-payment of CSA for my brother, who he discarded me and my brother when I was 11, so my brother was about 2 or 3. Now, in that divorce settlement, my stepmom, got the house and everything, and my dad agreed that that was her alimony, her maintenance and everything, and he walked away from everything and went to my nan's sofa, right? And I mean literally left in his white van, which my mum didn't take from him, which she could have done. And he literally left in his van, and yep, she got the Hyundai pony. So he left in the van, and he left his entire house that he had built from pretty much scratch, in terms of being given a council property, which he's worked to buy off the council. He's built the walls, he's built the garden, he's redone stuff, he's done extension work, he's done up the garden. Yes, they both worked. Roisin was never a stay-at-home mum, even though she gave up the job with Diana Ross to look after me, and that was a massage place, which is in Hazelmere, Hindhead, which you can have a look on the map. You could even have a look at who stayed there at particular times. I can tell you it's a celebrity-based place. That's where she worked as a masseur, simple as that. She was 21. She met my dad in a club. You know, my dad worked as a labourer, so he was somebody who has the dots on his thing, so from he's dyslexic, Borstal, that sort of stuff, who basically knocked my mum up, had a motorbike, and had to, you know, become responsible for a child. So he picked up one of them hoddy things and took up a ladder and started from scratch. He never did any formal qualifications. He didn't go to college. He didn't have a university degree. And he literally, for the rest of his life, pretty much built independent living houses and did the grounds and maintenance and refurbish, and occasionally got opportunities with my Uncle John, who's gone out and done a bit more qualifications. Taught martial arts in the village hall and worked the clubs as a bouncer. And I don't ever remember my dad being one of them egotistical wankers, even though he did have a door bunny, which he married. So when you're a woman, if you don't have a father who's got a complete trust fund for you, and you don't go and get some form of education, even if you're a mother, you know that thing that I posted up the other day called the Record of Achievement? There's no box that ticks mother. Did you know that if I want to put my occupation as mother on my websites, on my social media, there is no option to do that? It's not considered a vocation. It's not considered a purpose. It's not considered a job. It's not considered a service. It's nowhere, anywhere in the system that says being a father, mother, husband or wife as a God-given lifetime occupation. And it is. Yeah, there's not this whole, oh, I love you, you love me, we love our children, and everything's great and wonderful. It takes fucking work. And one of the things that annoys me about the education system is it doesn't teach you about Equifax, Experian, HMS revenue. And what annoys me about going to work for time and leverage, and I mean, like, I'm pissed off. I love doing my car boots, by the way, and root up to the car boots. So I've got car boots summer bond on here. And I've just done a couple of TikToks, and on the TikToks, I'm going to show you what I've put on. But if you do watch my TikToks, you won't understand how my lives have gone from everything that I do to this. So, and it's going to explain what I mean by Kelly completely fucking disappeared from my life. I mean, unless you've got a mobile phone with everybody's telephone numbers, or you've got social media and you connect to people, you really are in this world with no connection to anybody other than the people that you meet and the people you occupy and speak to. So me going from Leyland and leaving, I said bye to everybody. And seriously, don't come on my live calling me babe, mate. Like, seriously, not for you, darling. Don't come in here calling me babe. No one steps around me and calls me babe. There's only one man in the world who would ever call me babe. So if you're here to call me babe, please go. Anyway, where was I? So basically, as I tried to explain to you, I was a single mother of 4 children. Liam's father took no financial responsibility or care of Liam after he met his new partner and remarried. Graham, however, took financial responsibility of his said legal stepson. I won't even respond, why can't you call me babe? Because I'm not your babe. If you want to come on here, say hello, what do you lives? I really don't mind. I'm assuming that you're here for nothing to do with child trafficking, nothing to do with state kidnap, nothing to do with Step Up Britain. And I really don't tolerate any person coming into my space, lives, whatever it may be, knocking and calling me babe. There is a certain courtesy. It'd be like walking into a room, mate, and walking up to me and going, hey, babe, you're likely to get a fist on your fucking chin. Do you get that? Right, so don't come around calling me babe. I ain't your babe. So basically, and this is a problem for a woman in a working world, because men think they can call you babe and they get away with it. And women who are lesbians think single women, and it's about what goes on at the after party. It's always about the after party. It doesn't matter if you're in the army, there is always married men with single soldiers. It doesn't matter if you've got a corporate company, you go to your work functions. It doesn't matter whether you're an artist, you're in your artist world, mixed singles. It doesn't matter whether you're a dancer, it doesn't matter if you're a business CEO, it doesn't matter. And the thing is, we're meant to live in a husband-wife world. Yeah? Well, then I would apologise. I also have to say that if you're a 14-year-old girl here, then yes, you can be here. Hopefully you've just learned something from me as a 14-year-old girl, that you don't tolerate men calling you babe. And as a 14-year-old, I hope you're here because potentially, but I can't work with children. And this is why I can't work with children and what I'm going to explain. And that is because I've had my children taken. So I wouldn't pass any laws here that we have to be legally able to work with children, even though I still have children. So as a qualified legal youth worker and somebody with a psychology degree, I can't work in my chosen profession because of DSMs and stuff like that. Hey, I get it, but even teenagers, like, anyway, I'm here to do something. And if you are 14, and also I have to be careful of things like that because I'm aware that I have children that watch my lives, but without your parents' consent and without your parents being aware of the information that I share, then I don't have the right to educate you in anything to do with, and I'd love to be able to do that, but it would have to be something where I was talking at a school or I was talking at a youth place, and I can do things like that, but I have to be branded and I have to be a business. And that's what I'm trying to talk about here in front of me, that I'll just show you very quickly for those that know me. Can you see that properly? So this is from, I think it was May 2011, I think. So basically this is a Leyland branch of Barclays, and it is Kellie Cotton trading as Challenge Britain. You can't access any of these bank details. However, these bank details do exist. There's still access to... Oh, your mum follows me too. Hello then to Tarina da Abaru and your mum. Just throw down in the comments where you're from. Say hello to your mum. And I don't know if you'll get this stuff, but I talk about different things on different days. And it's more a diary for me because obviously I've got a book to publish. I've got an edit because nobody is editing my book but me. I'm gagged, so I have a legal court order on me and a D notice on any media or any other person, which means any person who says the stuff that I can't say face more consequences than I do. They face very draconian consequences and very old traditional consequences where I only face a committal to prison, which I've already beaten. So, but it doesn't mean that I'm not still gagged. So welcome, hello, and blessings to you. I'm here to prove my innocence, basically. I'm here to prove that I have never harmed any of my children, basically. I'm here to show that my children were taken unlawfully and unnecessary, and I'm still investigating it, and I'm still asking the public for a public inquiry, and I'm still asking people to ask what the fuck is going wrong with our childcare system. And I get trolled and I get smeared, and I think I know why, and I think I know where it started from. And then, unfortunately, every person has smear campaigned, defamated, discriminated, and persecuted me ever since based on hearsay, gossip, and Chinese whispers. And I've had to learn to deal with that. But here you go. You want the proof right in front of your very fucking eyes. So basically, this is what's called the New Deal. You're about to get a whole new thing from the Department of Thing. This used to be classed as the European Union. As you know, Britain is no longer in the European Union, and all European social funds basically come from investing in jobs and skills through the European Union. This is an action plan. Basically, there's my name. That's my national insurance, which I'm not going to give you because you can fuck me over from that. And basically, it's the Job Centre Plus organisation. I'm the person who created job coaches because it was all part of it. And the first initiation was done in the job centre and the first pilot study. I started in September 2010. Faith was born. It's Faith's birthday on Saturday. So Faith was born on the 26th of March 2010, and I was expected to return to work when my daughter was 6 months old, return to university, and come out of what was called statutory maternity pay, right? As you know, I've already previously graduated from university. That is not my life. I don't live there. I don't get up every day and go to Lancashire University. I'm not based there. I don't have an office. I'm sitting here on my bed in a council flat, in a 2-bedroom flat, and my mobile phone is my only communication to any person, and that's through social media. And I don't particularly have anybody other. I don't even have my other children's dad's numbers in my phone. I don't have my mum's number in my phone. I don't have my dad's number in my phone. A few parents I save who ring me at Christmas, New Year, and instead of being rude, going, who the fuck's that? I save their number. And that's pretty much about it. So basically, June 2010, which is there, 27th of June 2010. Now, I've got lots of these, and I don't know which is the first date, but I know that my disabled badge goes up to May 2011. So I chose, let me just turn you back to me a minute. I chose to go self-employed, but not as somebody under self-employed banking. There is a difference in going through the education system and getting a job just over broke. That's working for somebody else, leveraging your time for money. So that's basically saying that you're £9 something pounds an hour, £35 an hour, and they tally up and work out based over how many hours, basic 40, 80, and they pay you a salary. That salary is calculated based on the financial year. The financial year works from the new year. So New Year's Eve is the 31st of March and New Year's Day is the 1st of April, right? It's not the system that you know. Hence why the financial system continues to calculate based on the new year. Now, we have in this world called, get it right exactly before me trolls go, oh, she doesn't even know what it's called. It's called HMS Revenue and Customs. Would you like me to fucking show you who signed it on the 22nd of September 2011? So please remember, I went out in the media. I contacted people. People contacted me. MEM syndicates decided to take over. The man, Chris, who wrote the first ever article for Lancashire Chorley Guardian, Leyland Guardian, which is like wherever you live now, it's your local paper, basically. I have been in the local paper all my fucking life. Don't matter if it were majorettes, don't matter if it carnivals, don't matter if it were my mum, don't matter if it whatever. My mum's actually been in national papers with a photograph of me talking about teenage pregnancies, right? Both my mum and both me, obviously, have had teenage pregnancies at our heart on making sure that teenagers like yourself, Fatima, don't get knocked up, love, as a teenager and ruin your whole fucking life, basically. Liam, I love you, darling, and I'm glad you came into my life because it probably would have been very different without you. However, I will never know. I will never, ever know what it will be like to not be a mother from the age of 15. I don't know any other experience or pain than being a mother. From my first baby terminated at 15 to my second child, they took when he was 7 months old, and I got him back. Me and my mum fucking went and got him back and told him, don't fucking come near us again. Simple as that. My mum drove me 5 hours, jumped in the car, drove straight back. Done. Yeah. No messing around. My mum is a whiz, mate. Doesn't matter. You don't mess with my mum. But unfortunately, my mum doesn't stand up for me anymore. She doesn't believe in me and she doesn't tolerate it because she considers this all constant drama. Now, my mum has flown all the way over to Singapore to be with my sister for her baby to be born. Yeah, I don't want to discuss my child family's life on that way. I don't have permission to do so. And my first ever book was stopped based on the fact that my mum made the decision to go to my stepmom, ex-stepmom, my family, to try to get an injunction put on my first book that would have come out on the back of my media with my websites and everything attached with all of the what was Challenge Britain at the time. The reason that it stopped being Challenge Britain was because Range Rover had a website called Challenge Britain and they were no longer ceasing, and they were making me pay too much money for it. Now, I managed, as you know, to basically, so let's go back to this. So this is a 26-week, so it's no different than a 26-week court process. This is a 26 weeks to self-employed. Everything's 26 weeks, 10 weeks, 11 weeks, 14 days. Don't reply within 21 days. It's all the same because it's the same fucking system. So anyway, the multi-agency framework system that we live under and for the common people, darling. So anyway, stay a commoner, be a commoner. However, I was branded as a class 2, darling, which makes me working class, self-employed. So basically, we have a thing called national insurance contribution. And that is what you all know to be like the NHS, right? So people think that the national services here is free. It's not. People go to work every fucking day to pay taxes, national insurance and contributions and all this thing so that people can work in an office, also get paid a salary, also make sure they have a home, a car, look after their family while they do work to look after other families. Be fair about this, people. Come on. Don't forget that MPs aren't even allowed to own any other properties, but entrepreneurs can. You can only be taxed based on your time for service. Entrepreneurs understand that you don't sell your time for money. We are not slaves. We are not here to build the hopes and dreams of other people, how much inspiring and altruistic that is. Every single person in the world has a right to an amazing quality of life. They have just dug up a mosaic back from the Roman times. And it's very, very, very clear that they lived very luxurious lives. There wasn't necessarily the poverty that people space and seek. We've gone backwards. But sometimes you've got to go backwards to go forward. I'm going to prove that my children were taken as assets of HMS, Revenue and Customs, and the Department of Working Pensions. And I'm going to show you why just in these 2 little things here. This is an action plan that says that I am going to come off of income support as it was then and go self-employed, which means I self-govern. That would make me an anarchist. It means I basically go to work for myself. Now, in this country, we support people who have any form of gap between their abilities and their worst day. Okay, that means that I legally have somebody who can come in the morning, do physio, work with me, blah, 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 blah. It's part of what you now know to be a health and care plan that used to be called special needs education. So if you are somebody at school who is not fit for purpose, which means you can't be drilled into the army, police, nurse, doctor, all of those services that are classed as what are they classed as? Not white collar, not blue collar, civil servants, blue collar. So you've got white collar, blue collar. So if you don't understand this, what the difference between white collar and blue collar. So take it to the film Divergence. You've got people separated, yeah, and then you've got the divergence. So you had the white collar, so that was all your solicitors, barristers, accountants, all of those. And then you had your blue collar, which was all your police, your NHS. And then obviously you've got then down to the garbage service, lights, blah, blah, blah. Let's not get into that. So basically, this is the evidence that from this, I then get a bank account that says that this is not my personal bank account, this is my business account. That then gives me and grants me a checkbook and everything to do with it. And I was with Barclays, right? I've always usually been with Abbey National until it became Santander, and I changed to Barclays because I didn't like the way that the receptionist changed towards us, and they got rid of someone I liked. So fact is, this is a gyro book that says that Kellie Cotton trades as Challenge Britain. As you know, Challenge Britain became Step Up Britain. The reason is because I couldn't own the web domain. I do own the web domain for Step Up Britain. I did back in 2010 own the web domain for everything to do with Love Great Britain. I owned every city, every host, every town, village of Love Dumph. Other people have gone on and done stuff. Somebody's taken over and got a page and authenticated for Love Great Britain. I still own Step Up Britain. I still own Protocol Challenge Britain. I still own everything connected to it. And I still own the contracts to every single person that committed their time, service, money, products. So here is one that I talk about, Dan Bradbury. That's an official letter. It's not an email. That there says Dan Bradbury Limited. That means that Dan Bradbury is a limited company. So basically in 2010, what should have happened, but it didn't. And this is not to do with Aaron and Faith. This is to do with me being hit up the back by an off-duty police officer, causing injury to my neck spine. Witnessed by my ex-husband, funny enough, going to the shop for the same time, the day before Liam's birthday, and we'd all been going to Tesco's to sort things out because Liam was paintballing the next day and had friends staying over, and we were just getting back with all the snacks and everything, and an off-duty police officer on her phone banged right into me as we were both reversing out, and she smashed into me. Got help, physio, things like that, but obviously I was working from an iPad. Everything that I did was the first thing obviously I did is with my iPad, and I worked everything because I was classed as remote, and what was called the laptop life I turned into the iPad life basically. So then obviously because I was on benefits before, the Department of Working Pensions pay and they do now, my national insurance contributions. It's not much. You actually find that if you're on benefits and you get to retirement age, you don't actually have enough national insurance contributions, and you should actually still be contributing. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself on the streets and on the ass when it gets to retirement age, your home's sold, and you've got dementia and you're living in a care home. There will not be adequate funding for you, right? So basically, I had this written down for me, and I will read it to you. So Charlie's house, Winkley Square, and the telephone number, which is basically where Inland Revenue is based in Preston. Now, luckily, it's nothing more where I was living, nothing more than off the train, have a nice walk, nice little coffee, straight in. It's just a little room, seat somebody at the front. It's very tiny little office, really, only really about 10 of them in there. It runs the whole fucking country. So anyway, it's moving to Portsmouth, and it's going to be based here in Portsmouth. Tithing over tax, people, tithing over tax. So anyway, I wrote on here, and I'll face you as I read it. So this is the first year. So on the 21st of the 4th, 2011, till the 5th of the 4th, 2012, I had to submit all my books and all of my accounts on those days, right? Now, as you know, 2010 I went in the media. Then I went to change house to a bigger house where I had an office, and it all went kaput tong because Stephen had fucked up my credit score and found out I couldn't move. Then I lost my property and I was going to move back down south. That didn't happen, and I went into an interim property where I literally folded because I'd gone from like fully furnished, couldn't move my stuff. I had to give up loads of bits and started from scratch from BM fucking bargains with 4 children basically in an interim property, and I'd gone into a hotel previously to try and help us. So anyway, I was secure in a property, not a problem. So basically I'm sitting at a table that the council had put in there, and I had a laptop. I didn't know fuck all about RAM at the time. I didn't know nothing about NCSOs. I didn't know nothing about coding, and you didn't have websites where you could just pop them up on GoDaddy like you can now. It was literally thousands to create websites and web portals. Thousands, tens of thousands, even hundreds of thousands, right? Now you can pay monthly fee and you can keep a basic, but it's still not to the capabilities of what it is that Step Up Britain was first ever designed for. It was a BBC actually already contracted. I have a contract with the BBC for this to take 7 people from multi-lives through what was called a breakthrough program. And it was all done on an intervention to show them how you do an intervention on 7 people from 7 different lives, taking them over 26 weeks, or 27 I chose. But, and we were working over a fundamental 18-month period. As you know, I was the person that said, well, you know, you could just hit the reset button, tell everybody we're going into World War III and make everybody think about their lives. So anyways, a bunch of cunts trying to play away with a strategy that they can't do because they're not the brains and the heart behind it, and it wasn't their vision from the Lord. It's mine. Can't take it away from me, can't becreate it, can't mould me, can't clone me, nothing you can do, and nothing you can do to stop the Lord's work. So anyway, the Lord tells me that we've got a big tax scam going on, and this is why we're having massive problems with people with benefits, self-employment, entrepreneurialships, and everything like that. So anyway, basically, the deadline for the tax return submission, 31st of Jan. Following tax year 2013, first one. So basically, 2013, I was on fucking Drowning Street, begging and crying, what the fuck and how do I stop an adoption on my children, right? So again, 2011, 2012, then Aaron and Faith get taken and Kellie disappears, right? Check how much you can earn to receive DLA. Then it turned out that DLA is unlimited. It's based around my condition and my DLA was not affected. Check how much you can earn to get tax credits. So I changed over from income support to tax credits, as you know, and it was done May 2011. Check if government will deal with self-employed, or do you need a tax to be a limited company? So I became a public limited company. Do diary daily include mileage business? Do bookkeeping weekly? compare to diary, check, have all receipts. Student loan, how much profit earned before paying back. Now, as you know, I've just had a letter saying I'm on benefits, so I don't have to pay it back. Companionshouses.co.uk, web check, company name. As you can see, I have a checkbook. In order to get this checkbook means that I was on Companies Housing Trading. Oh, that's the other one. That's protocol. So where's the other one gone? So this is the other one. So basically, I was on Companies Houses, Kellie Cotton, Challenge Britain. That was the address that I was living at back then. So that's not my address now, by the way. And Leyland branch. I can't find a date in here, but it would have been similar to any of these codes. No, you can't access it. No, you can't do anything with it. So I don't even mind showing you it. Can't do fuck all with it. Kellie Cotton. The only person who can do anything with it is a judge, mate. Trading as Challenge Britain, right? So I'm trying to find a date, but obviously, as you can see, based on this, it will be around here. So this letter was sent the 21st of September 2011. I was not at this address. As a result of me not being at this address, I lost all correspondence to do with everything to do with our medical, to do with my business, and I was in an interim property, and I couldn't do all that stuff where you change things over. Nobody would give me any extra mail, and I didn't know a lot of stuff that was going on behind my back. There are goodness knows how many warrants on me. I deal with it. So anyway, Class 2, national contributions. You have declared, you have declared that your earnings from self-employed or are expected to be below the relevant threshold. There, and you see the dates. So that's 2011-12 tax year. You do not have to pay Class 2 NIC for the period shown below. So basically, I was cleared until, so from the 29th of May 2011, and I was protected until the fucking 5th of April 2014. In between here, it has all gone wrong because 21st of the 4th, 2011, the 5th of the 4th, 2012, the 6th of the 6th, 2012, and the 5th of the 4th, 2013, I didn't submit my tax records. And I couldn't, because this is what I had. I have all my train tickets, May 2012. There's my train tickets every time. Yeah, all my train tickets. I even have the Pontins, because obviously I lost my property and I thought it was a really good idea because obviously it was school holidays. I didn't think I could take my kids to the streets. I had nowhere to go. So I went to Pontins. There is all of the receipts from the registration of the car that I hired, which was an Avis car. And there's all the receipts and it will show you the dates. And all of this has all got to be put in date order. It's all got to be put into a catalogue and show everything all the way through. This here basically is an intensive startup support pre-start. And it has the dates of every time he met me and what it was and whom. So we had the 21st of the 1st, 2011, 28th of the 1st, 2011, 21st of the 1st, 2011, 17th of the 1st, 2011, 31st of the 1st, 2011, 30th of the 6th, 2011. And then I was officially classed as self-employed. June 2011, on the 20th, on a Monday, I wrote from a quote from Bill Gates. If you give people the tools and they use their natural abilities and their curiosity, they will develop things in ways that they will surprise you beyond what you expect. Bill Gates. I wrote this because Bill Gates was the speaker that day. The 21st, on the Tuesday, was something else. The expectation of life upon diligence, the mechanics that would perfect his work, must first sharpen his tools. That was a quote by Confucius, which was read on the day. The greatest danger is not that we aim is too high, is that we miss it. That we aim is so low that we hit it. You have to forgive me, I haven't got glasses on and I'm trying to read through the phone. And then on Wednesday, the 22nd, all of these things are merely tools used as little or as much as you need to express your own uniqueness. And then on the back, on the 2011, I've literally got Success Resources, Infusionsoft.com, and that's where all my money came through. There was how much VAT was. That was my original email at Hotmail. I cannot get in there under that password, so I don't mind showing you all the things. And I'm still basically sitting here with it. The last place that I was with Aaron and Faith and Liam and Daniel was the Costa Club Resort Hotels, which is based in Tython Manor, Cornwall. Hiya, Kelly. Hope you had a good trip home. Enjoy your holiday with Club Costa. It was great to meet you. All best, Debbie. And that's when we were still in an interim property. I have lots of lovely business cards from people who have very professional things, people from Mercedes, all sorts of things, all of the receipts, all of the stuff. Oh, that's even further before, though. That's Stomp. Just different things, obviously, because when you're told to... obviously, most of the stuff that I've ever... Oh, here we go. So, that there. So, for the people who say, oh, she didn't, it basically is my student card. So, University of Central Lancashire, Student Union, BSc Honours, Kellie Cottam, signed, and that's my little photograph with a nice cheesy little grin there. My action plan: review budget, look at expenditure, plan for Christmas, add clothes, everything, website. Talk to debt expert from website access, national debt line, look to reset utility bills, blah, blah, blah. You know, that was 3rd, 2011. I'm not even going to go through all of this stuff, but I think you get it, that basically I've got to start from scratch, basically. But I don't have to start from scratch, because basically I have to present all of this into court with all of the evidence. Like they said that Aaron and Faith never had any stuff. Well, that's proof of my children, by the way. Invoice on the 30th of September 2011. Yvonne Chastity, parent of Aaron Thompson. Kellie Cottam. Yeah, childminding for September, Aaron Thompson, £134. I haven't been able to do this with Elijah and Shiloh, you know, and I wouldn't even want someone to. Parent of Faith, £519. That was only for literally 1 week. You know, that was childcare fees. That's childminding fees. There's the map of the Olympic Parks, because like I said, Protocol Challenge Britain meant that I was working with Professor Greg Zegwyatt. That's the map of Olympic Park with the official stamp. all my train tickets, little stupid visits at London Eyes, little silly things along the way, more childcare bills, more train tickets, more, you know, I had a car afterwards. You know, it's all got to be literally sat and put date order, then chronologically crossed over with everything that basically proves that because I didn't submit my accounts, I've had all of this fucking issue. And look, non-transferable card, there you go. University of Central Lancashire, students LLRS card. Yeah, and this is what people want to disprove. They'll even go, oh, she laminated it herself. You know, crock of shit. Keep it going. It doesn't change my destiny. You don't pay for my children's shoes. You don't choose for the house that I live in. You don't choose my car. You don't choose my lifestyle. And the reason that I started all of this is I was trying to tell you that life is about a way of life. It's about you knowing who you are, what your purpose and passions are. And money is nothing more than an extension of the things that we need, such as if I want to take my children down to the sea and have a paddleboard and oar, I can have the facilities to do that, because that's what we're going to do. And that's all money is. Money isn't evil and money isn't good. Money is the most neutral energy, other than the fact that it's got different people's heads printed on it, that gives it some form of governance. As I once said, as from September this year, I will never be able to ever say that money is nothing more than a piece of paper for exchange of time and service, because there will no longer be paper, cotton money. It will be plastic. So I will have to say money is nothing more than a plastic piece of paper. Well, it's not even paper, is it? So I'll change that in September. So legally I can't say it's a piece of paper because it won't exist, but it was a piece of paper. So basically, by not doing this, and this is what I was going into, so the first person that I learned from, I have his name other than Dan Bradbury. These are what we call the millennials. So these were the people that were in their early 20s who didn't have children. So I was basically a mature student. So even when I went to university, I was a mature student. But even when I went into the corporate working world, this is the 16th of March, 2012. Congratulations, you have accepted my mission. We have a spectacular super conference lined up to you. The coaching, trainer and consultant and speaking industry is rapidly changing, and only those secret agents armed with the latest information gleaned at his conference is going to be in the know. You will have the opportunity to eavesdrop on 12 of the most successful secret agents, where they will learn information. It's because it was a James Bond thing night. The casino night, the after party, where you will learn information that's literally worth millions of pounds in the right hands. So this was Saturday the 24th and Saturday the 25th. Hence why it cost me so much money in childcare, because I couldn't take my kids because it wasn't child friendly. Tony Robbins, I could take my kids. Just to prove a point, this is Liam's crew t-shirt. So Liam was alumni of Skills for a Richer Life, which is basically knowledge to action. And if you have a look, it's owned by Greg Zecker. Greg Zecker is the original true, all of them, Wolves of Wall Street, right? Wolf of Wall Street was one of my teachers. And Greg Zecker is... This makes it very difficult when I've ever been in relationships, because I work with people who own their own planes. I was working with people who own their own boats. I was working with people who have their properties. But they were all married, right? But they didn't have children. Even Greg Zecker is still younger than me. I'm an oldie in a world of people that are coming through. As you say, when you walk past the university, you go, these are our future generation. Well, the future generation of the people that are really actually getting on and doing stuff are the 20s, 30s and 40s coming in now. It's no different than people that go old school, yeah? It's no different than I listen to children that are listening to music that I go, you know, that's old school. You know, my mum used to say it to me, don't think that's new, that's not new. There's not much that's ever created that was new, but Challenge Britain was. Challenge Britain was something that had never been done again before. And everyone kept saying, you can't just challenge Britain, you're going to have to do the whole world. I have always said I can't represent the whole world because I don't understand their culture. I have never, ever, ever lived in certain environments to ever understand that. I don't walk around in a society right now where there are guns on my streets and people parading around with UN vehicles everywhere. We don't have that. You might occasionally see some trucks on the back of a lorry if you're in a army military place being moved. I'm going to obviously see the ship going out from Portsmouth because it's docked here going off to war. I understand that that ain't just a, hey, buy ships and say bye to your husbands going off to work for a job just over broke. They're going out to defend and protect and murder and kill and mutilate, rape, pillage, assault, victimize, bully, harass, and work for somebody that once upon a time Hitler recruited loads of people that massacred and killed people, because it's about that money, isn't it? So I think that was my VIP band for the thing. So basically I have a card memory stick here with O2 and all the telephone numbers of everybody that I've ever done if I can activate it. I've got everything where I started to get smart and do my weeklies. I had an envelope down on my car because they don't teach you this stuff. They don't teach you how to make sure. There's one thing budgeting, but it's something else to have to keep everything that you do, because otherwise people, look, I'm in back and forth to London. This is when it all changed, and I want to show you what changed. And I have it here, I found it. So all of a sudden, 15th of whatever, I've got a receipt to London, Houston. The reason that things changed again, and I'm going to leave it here and just leave you with this is all my paperwork from being a mum who was setting up a business to be able to support her children, because I didn't have, and I don't have the mindset as well that a husband supports us. And also because I have other children, I have never ever expected for anyone to take on my children. And when you're on benefits and you're on DLA, if you meet somebody, you lose your benefits. And this pisses me off. Because if you're on benefits, and I had this argument when I was married to Graham, why should I have to come off disability? And why should not, like the disability support, why should Graham have to fully financially support me? Why shouldn't I stay on the equivalent of what my capabilities are and continue doing what I was doing with volunteering and things like that, and only ever being available? Like, I mean, I might have been off on sick, but I was part of the PTA, the PTA FA. I helped out the school. I helped out all the local charities. I helped the university. I chose to re-educate. My degree is in youth work. I chose to go into psychology to go back to youth. I chose to do that, not these cunts that troll me. So don't have a go at me on where I am over the last 11 fucking years, unless you're sitting me down. You know, Ally McBeal, yeah? The people I give a shit about, mate, is the people who sit in this living room that help me put all of this in a fucking bundle that makes my case absolutely airtight, irrefutable, and they can turn around and say, Aaron and Faith were unlawfully taken and detained, and the abuse and torture that I've gone through and my family have gone through, and the abuse from strangers, mate, that's what I'm pulling up most. Because somebody come along with a website. So I'm trying to find a card here. So basically, all of a sudden, my life changed. And I was handed a card. I'm told to ring at 9 o'clock in the morning. Where is it? Oh, who remembers Blockbuster? So I was basically going to Blockbuster every Friday to get some DVDs, videos, chill with my kids, chill in the morning on a Saturday morning, because obviously everybody works in the hay. You get a Saturday morning off after dropping your kids at nursery all fucking day. Chilling on a Saturday morning with your kids. Sunday, looking forward to your Sunday dinner, you know, church in the morning. I'm trying to find something before I go that's so fucking important. And it will show you. Ah, here we go as well. This isn't it, and this is nothing to do with me, but Ian Young, that's who I met at Success Resources, who started to help me out. They own Addiction, and they were the team that were going to do the intervention with Tony Robbins on the BBC, basically. And it was my idea to bring it to the UK, basically, and do something here. But the card that I'm looking for now is really fucking important. There's no order to this, so I'm really not bothered if I... No, I'll find it for you, hang on. Oh, nice posh business cards. Where was the one that was handed that changed my life? And I know it's definitely here because I had it a minute ago. Oh, look. Coaching Academy. Jonathan J's business card. Now, this will bring you back to everybody else and why I came onto your platform. And I've never had the help since. All I've had is shit, trolling, and I've heard it every fucking day. Not heard nothing yet. You wait until I walk out of court. Right, I've got to find it because I can't end the live without showing you. Right, Lord, seriously, I need it. Go on, where is it? Nah, look. Tony Robbins, $1 million. There you go again. London Excel, security manager. Saatchi, Damien Hirst, Saatchi Gallery. That's a bit earlier though. Oh, I've got to find it. Ah, now, this is interesting. This card, I've only just realised, Liam went to university while I was at Pontins and we had a hire car. But guess what's underneath it? Safeguarding officer. So that would have been the first referral. There's the business card from the Anthony Robbins Foundation, and that's who basically did all my stuff with. Yeah, that's Chip. Oh, where's the life-changing one? I really can't sign off until I do it. I know, you're all going, God, she needs that in order. I know. I need the whole lot of it in order. Every single piece, all in... Oh, look. Hey! Startup Britain. Campaign manager. There you go. You've already seen the bus. Turned up, actually. Funny enough. Oh, where is it? Oh, this is annoying me now. Why can't I find it when I actually need it just to shut down? Oh, look. GoDaddy, all my stuff right back from the original. Oh, look. Magic. Paul Brown. We'll start getting onto the music stuff. Life plan. I should probably start finding all fucking music shit now. I only needed a DJ to open up. MC. I'm not signing off until I find it. I'm not even telling you what it is. I'm just going to flash it up to you. If you've seen my TikTok, you've already seen it. And it is on my TikTok, all perfect there for you. If you get bored of waiting for it and you want to see what it is I'm fucking looking for. Which means it would have been down here at the beginning because I had it here for the photographs. Hang on. I would have had it here. I feel like going on, screenshotting it off TikTok now and showing you. But I know full well I had it. This is how unorganised this shit is. I've made it worse now, completely fucking worse. Oh, where are you? Point your back to me for a second while I have another fucking look. It's really, I'm going to end it by showing you this. Because then all of a sudden, life changed. Handed a fucking card, mate. And then you know me as you know me now, as FDA. I don't want to have to come back on and do this again on why I'm showing you what I'm showing you. Do you know, parents have sent me a thing, I've not even cashed it. I've got checks I haven't cashed. It's nothing to do with money to me. This has got fuck all to do with money. This is personal. It's my life. It's my kids. It's my family. Don't really know anything else. Do you know what I mean? Oh, that's really pissing me off. I can't find it. It's on my TikTok. It's literally on my TikTok. I put it on my TikTok today with all of the paperwork and then the cards that I was handed. I might have to tell you what it is instead of finding it. And give me one last blast because I just want to flash it up. And then other people out there might get it and go, so from then she didn't have a car. She didn't have a home. She didn't have an office. She was literally thrown out onto the streets with all her paperwork in a suitcase. Then getting a car. And then finally replacing my iPad, which my cousin gave me. Then that got broke. Then being stuck. Then my laptop was gone. Then, all of that. So I might have to take a photograph and screenshot it and send it up to us. I might have to tell you what it is. And it will piss me off because I'll come off my live and I'll find it now. But I've been on too long. So basically, it's the card from Flintshire Council, Flintshire Child Protective Service. And it shows when I can see my kids again and who to call. So anyway, fuck knows what label I am other than a mother of 6 kids. I'm not a wife. I'm not anything else. So I guess I'm still the director of Step Up Britain. I need to make money basically and work like everybody else. So I can't go and work for someone else. So it's time to go back and start up Britain. Get me double-decker bus back. I wonder how many double-decker buses I own now. So, yeah, I'll send you the screenshot in a minute of what it was that I took the photograph on. It's on my TikTok. So there you go. There's your evidence. There's your proof. Now, fuck off and leave me alone, you cunts that doubt me. To those that are still here,